start. Let's come back here. Reload. Okay, so this one is live. That's weird, man. Delete. All right. Weird thing happened, man. I had to I guess we ain't got to talk about it. Let's say I'm live now. Yeah, I was just live a second ago, man. It was like I wasn't live. I didn't understand it. I thought I was tripping for a second. Let me see. Let me come back. View channel. Here we go. Appreciate y'all coming up in here. Here we go. This is the second live. The first live I started, it wouldn't Here we go. This is the second live. It wouldn't release when I did the live. But beat it as it may, we're here now. Shalom, Cap, and everyone riding shotgun. Whew. Shalom, Lakam Ya'Allah. Yavashim Shabbat Qatar. I'd whoop you, bro. I can already tell. A lot of people say that, man. You know, the beautiful thing about online is anybody can say whatever they want online. So, hey, Emilion, you know what's crazy, Emilion? This is my second live this morning. I had went live earlier, and I don't know if it's because I started at my house, maybe because I had it on the Wi-Fi and turned it off the Wi-Fi. Des Mills, you are correct. I'm definitely the funniest man in Israel. But I had to restart the live. So today's live stream, y'all know a part of this live stream is a play on Tuesday being the voting day. And so that's why y'all see the title, Choose God or Death. I should have put in the title the brother that ran over the police officer. I should have put that in the title as well. I got Ron Dalton in the title. Ron Dalton. Okay, come on. All right, Mike. I see your super chat. So you got a question. What's up, man? What's the question? Let me see what the question is. I'm going to put the focus on you. The show just started, so go ahead and put your question in there so I can get your question. What they do, Captain Love from Dade County 305. I'll get into the why up replay the IUIC assault on the brother Titus. I'll get into that in a second. I'll get into that. Were you on Tyler Oliveira? Yes, I was on Tyler Oliveira's show. Hey, Mike, I saw your super chat. I'm just waiting for the question. Yeah, I was workout of the day is chess. Workout of the day is chess. Yeah, I was on Tyler Oliveira actually came out to New York City, filmed my school, filmed us in Hebrew Academy, filmed us training. We actually chased him with a whip. So we'll see. It's whack 100. Nah, listen. One thing I'm gonna say: if y'all want to call whack that, y'all would have to bring. Every time somebody say he's this, he's that. So I can't say that. Nah, I can't say that. You know, the truth can never be considered disrespect. I just haven't seen no truth about it. You know, so I don't know how to answer that one. So the Ron Dalton, right? So for those that don't know who Ron Dalton is, if you go to his Amazon page, you know, every time I talk about people I don't like, right, or people that do stupid things or say stupid things, it can even be a group like it could be anything. It's extremely. I speak extremely like medieval war type tactics, or biblical, even if you want to call it. The book of Susanna, is that young man Daniel the same Daniel in the book of Daniel? Yes. In the book of Susanna, when those priests tried to essay the sister, it was Daniel, the same young man Daniel, that stood for Susanna. That's absolutely correct. Homosexuality is definitely wrong. You might be borderline. Shout out to The book of Daniel is definitely, Daniel is the same Daniel from Susanna that is the book of Dan. So now, Ron Dalton came out with a book, of course, everybody knows, is this book here. It's called Hebrews the Negroes, right? Now, the book was out, the movie rather, came out in, I think, like 2015. Now, a lot of people don't know, when Ron Dalton came out with this book, movie, and he did it in, I remember he had a party or a release party in the Bronx. Daniela from Lions of Israel was there. I was there. And they actually had filmed us for the part 2. So when we came out there, and this is important because the Israelites that don't teach exactly like Ron came out to support them. And when they came out to support them, Ron and them said they was going to do a part 2 to Hebrews, the Negroes, and they wanted to interview us. And they actually did. I remember them asking me about Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. They asked me other questions. We was in full support of Ron Dalton back in 2015. And of course, and I think it was 2021 or 2022 when Kyrie Irving, who was a basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets, he tweets out the book. And when he tweets out the book, the movie, I keep saying book. When he tweeted out the movie, he got a lot of backlash for it. And it was kind of good for Ron in a sense because it brought a lot of light to him. I actually interviewed Ron twice. I brought Ron on Clubhouse. It got crazy. And then I brought Ron on my platform. If you go on Captain Tazaryach TV, you'll see that I interviewed Ron Dalton. And Ron Dalton did not have any vitriol whatsoever for the Israelites over here. Now, since that time, I don't know if maybe his sales are down. I don't know if he needs money now. I don't know what the reasoning is. But up until a couple, I don't know what the timeline is of him and IUIC having their issue, or him so-called challenging IUIC. I don't know what that's about, but they have an issue going back and forth, and I think dumbass Garfield, sidebar, you could tell, I don't know if Garfield saw the live stream yesterday or anything like that, but Garfield gonna say, do some video with Pastor Bennett. So I don't know, but he had, Garfield has talked about it, and apparently Ron wants to debate Nathaniel or Nate from IUIC on, let me see this text message he sent me, because he sent me a text message yesterday, which is why I'm talking about it today. So Ron sent me a text message yesterday. The text message says, actually he sent me, I didn't even realize, he actually sent me a text message October, or should I say I didn't remember. He sent me a text message October of 2024, and he says, hey, I don't know if you heard, but I put a challenge out to any Israelite assembly, congregation, or camp leader that wants to debate the topic, where is the true Holy Land, land of Canaan? Then he says, Nate is not interested in debating. I also called Divine Prospect and contacted him, and he has not agreed. He initially said he would, but wanted to see how professional my debate with Deacon Sakari went. That's clearly, I guess I think Deacon was gone by that time. GOCC leader, I'm sure knows. So I'm just reading how he has it. So you are down to debate me, let me know. We need to give our people some clarity when it comes to topics such as modern day Israel, truly the land of Canaan, land of milk and honey. I had an ISBK member tell me in the Twitter space, you don't run from debates. If so, we can do a debate. 3 rounds, 30 minutes apiece. 3 rounds, 30. Yeah, y'all can see that. You see the angle. Oh, Deacon did. Hey, somebody send me that. Where that cat debated. Somebody text me that debate. I would like to see it. All right. 3 rounds, 30 minutes apiece. Then a 15-minute segment to ask hot seat questions. 3 minutes. That's a 3-hour debate. Oh, that's so. Ron is pushing that the promised land is deep in Africa. Oh, okay. Because I didn't. So when he texted me that, it's all I text him. I said I'm not interested. That's what I text him because I didn't think it was it wasn't a debate that I was interested in there. Yeah, Captain Tazaryach, their brother Titus got. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about Titus in a second. I'm gonna tell you why. So y'all see, I have in the title, why did I re-upload? Because that video that I uploaded yesterday, that video. Oh, he texted you too. He texted you too. So the video that I uploaded yesterday is a replay from July of 2023. That's how long this case has been going. That's how long ago this incident happened. So I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So somebody in the chat said that Ron believes that Israel, I guess, is deeper in Africa instead of the locale. And I think what throws a lot of people off when it comes to Israel is in modern times they have, I ain't got no water, man. Oh, I think I might have a water trunk. So in modern times, people believe that that state of Israel is the Israel from biblical times. And that's just not the case. It's called the state of Israel for a reason. It's called the state of Israel because when the so-called Jew went back there in the 40s, it was Palestine that was running it. And so they divided Palestine. And so you had the state of Palestine, you got the state of Israel. That's what that is. But that's not the same. Shout out to you too, Micaiah. Shalom, sis. So that's what that is. So I'm not interested in debating stupid. Like I don't run from debates, but I also pick which debate I want to do. That's a fact. Because the reason why I do that is because anybody can come up with a subject. Anybody can come up with a topic. But the topic has to be something that if y'all, okay, so this past debate that I did with Pastor Bennett, and I told Pastor Bennett, and I don't know why he thought that what I was saying meant he was good. I wasn't. When I said to Pastor Bennett, nobody has gotten me this hype in a long time. That's not saying that he was good at what he did. It's just that his hypeness, you almost have to match it. When you debating, the thing about debating, it's a few subjects that you can't really be kind of relaxed with. And it's not because of the truth of the Bible, it's because of masses' perception. So in a debate like, can all nations be saved? You can't be like, well, you know the promises for this and that. Like, you can't be like that, especially with somebody like Pastor Bennett, because he about to hoot and holler. And when I was talking about Pastor Bennett hoot and holler, I'm really saying hoot and hollering, but ain't saying nothing. He just said the same thing for 3 rounds. But because we're already indoctrinated with the concept of salvation is for why you have to do it that way, unfortunately. So that's what I was talking about. So when y'all see the hypeness, I got to do that. It's like matching energy so that the information that I'm saying is accepted, because if my energy wasn't where his was at, people would have been like, man, he done took cap low, cap this, cap that, right? So every time somebody gives me a subject, like it's a few subjects I just like. This whole where's Israelite, I'm not debating that. I'm not debating the 12 tribe chart. I'm not debating am I Israelite? I'm not debating that. There's certain subjects that I'm just not gonna debate. And so he sends me this message yesterday. And so he shares an Instagram text with me yesterday. So apparently he put out some videos saying IUIC false teachings, which IUIC do teach falsely. They teach that Jesus is the God of the Old Testament. They teach a man can't have more than one wife. They teach that image of Jesus Christ, the image they put out is Nathaniel. They got like when you see their picture of Jesus Christ, you know, like we all got an image of Christ, a black image of Christ. Our image of Christ is not designed after nobody. It's just a black image. Their image was specifically designed after Nate. So those are just some of the things that they teach wrong, right? So I guess he believes, I don't know if he thought that maybe because, you know, we don't really like IUIC, that him sending me that message, I was gonna say something. So here was my response. So he sends that to me, and my response was, goofy nigga. That was my response. Now, I'm calling Ron a goofy nigga. This is what he says. LOL, some top Israelite leader needs to set up and defend the doctrine. Bishop Nathaniel ain't gonna do it. Let's debate on it. You up for it? So I believe he thought that the goofy nigga was about Nate or IUIC, but it wasn't. I'm calling him one. So my last response to him was, I'm talking about you being the goofy nigga. That was my last response to him, so that he can understand that when I'm calling somebody a goofy nigga, it can only be him. When you say you can't have no image, can you call in? Did I pin the phone number? Because that's a lie. Use a goddamn lie that you can't have no image whatsoever. Now, I dare you to call me and tell me that we can't have any image. I dare you. I believe my number is pinned to the top. Let me make sure that my phone number is pinned to, yep. 862-224-9027 is the phone number to call. I dare you to call and say that I can't have an image of Christ. I dare you. I dare you. When you say link to the debate, are you talking about the debate that I had with Pastor Bennett? Yeah, let me get it. It's on my channel. Let me get it for you real fast. Let me get it. Let me get that for you real fast. So I got that out the way. The other thing I want to get out the way is, why did I replay the video with Brother Titus? The short and simple answer. Oh no, I don't have that debate. I'm asking somebody to send me the debate. I don't have that debate. So the short and simple answer as to why I replayed the interview with Brother Titus is because he asked me to. No. Just to be correct, I was talking to him last night and I told him I would. And the reason why I told him, you said you texted to me? Let me see. Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Okay, I got it. Thank you, brother. So the reason why I told him I would, so back in now the incident happened in Titus in 2022. I didn't get wind of it until 2023. I believe it was Judah Maccabees, might have been the one that put me on to it, because I know Judah Maccabees is the only other brother that I know that was really going in on it. And so of course when I find that out, I try to tell y'all, like I said this about, what did I say this about? Because I said this a while ago. With all the stuff that's going on in Israel, right? The one voice that you always hear that talks about it and addresses it is me. And when I'm saying talk about it and address it, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this Will, man. I'm calling from Chicago, man.
What's up?
Yeah, man. I was calling about that last interview I had seen on the IUIC.
What about it?
Yeah, I got one of their brothers over here at my mom's house, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think they sent them over here, man.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Sent them over there for what?
Well, pretty much, Calvin. I prefer to call you on your private line if that'll be okay.
All right, so call me after 2 p.m.
Okay, for sure, for sure.
This same number. You can call me after 2 p.m.
Okay.
All right, no sweat, bro. So the reason why I say I'm in that position, because if you think about the last set of events that have occurred in Israel, just Israel only, I don't know a lot of people that's putting pressure on Israel like I have put the pressure on Israel. I don't think nobody putting the accountability on Israel like I have put the accountability on Israel. Right now, Gorilla Hebrew is sneaking on TikTok, doing lives on TikTok, begging for roses. Now think about that. That's crazy work, that nigga begging for roses. That nigga on TikTok looking for roses. Sidebar, for all you sisters that's using them roses, from what I hear, them roses gonna release your damn nerve damage. Gonna cause nerve, you ain't gonna have no feeling for the ride. Yeah, y'all out there going buck wild on them roses, you ain't gonna have no feeling for the ride. Y'all better leave them damn roses alone. A brother said, why beef though? This ain't even about beef. And this is why I call, like, at some point, if we all brothers, right? To the dude with the weird letters in his name. If we all brothers, then you shouldn't care about drug dealers because we all brothers. You shouldn't care about child molesters because we all brothers. The same feeling you should have if we all brothers, then Polite shouldn't be in jail because we all brothers. Now, once you make the mistake, once you make a difference between Polite and what brothers did to IUIC, what Gorilla did with his woman, you got to analyze yourself. I just don't have that problem. The Bible says to have no respect of persons in judgment. This ain't about brothers and like keeping silence ain't love for someone needs to shed light. Thank you. Like, and I'm glad that stupid nigga in the chat said that. I'm gonna tell you why I call you a stupid nigga. The unspoken rule. Wait, but Gorilla didn't do none of that you mentioned. You a lie. Did you just say Gorilla didn't do none of that? Brother, I would suggest you go to Wendy Williams' channel. All you got to do is go on Wendy Williams' channel. You can see the messages. That brother gets banged in his ass. This ain't a beef. If somebody thinks that I do what I'm doing like right now because of a beef, please call in my show and tell me that. Please call. I would appreciate if y'all can call in and tell me how this is beef, what I'm doing. If y'all can just, to the brother, he said I didn't know that was true. Yes, it's absolutely true about Gorilla Hebrew. And not with just one woman, multiple of his wives. Multiple. So it's absolutely true. It is not a lie. So no, this ain't gossip, this ain't none of that. Otherwise, sometimes I'll get a story, like stupid ass Garfield tried to spread a story on, I believe it was Zabak on Clubhouse with his dumb ass. That's what I don't do. Just because somebody come and tell me, yo, Cap, I saw such and such, I think this is such and such, I don't believe, everything that I hear. That's not my mantra. But if it is true, I will call it out, period. So, when it came to this situation with IUIC, when I was first told about it, so I was told that a captain in IUIC had assaulted this brother, this is all I was told at first, that a captain in IUIC had assaulted a brother really bad. And so I'm like, well, what's the proof of it? The first set of proof was the pictures. When I stopped driving, somebody said they passed them around. When I stopped driving, if I could pull the pictures, I'll show you how the pictures live. because I believe I have them. I'm just not 100% sure. But if I could pull the pictures, I'll show the pictures live. So I see the pictures, and when I tell you the pictures are gruesome, the pictures are gruesome. The pictures are some of the most horrible things. And that's kind of like what incensed me even more. Because when the captain from IUIC assaulted this brother, he used a foreign object. The brother Titus wasn't sure at the time if it was a pistol or not, but he used a foreign object and beat the hell out. The incident happened in 2022. Now, part of the reason why I'm bringing it back to light is because the brother's finally getting a trial date for it. And that's the crazy part, that the scriptures say, why not go to the just instead of the unjust? In this case, Titus is going to the unjust because the so-called just is unjust. IUIC are unjust because if they were just, if they were righteous, they would have got justice for this brother. They would have did something for this brother. They would have tried to make it right with this brother. Period. Keandra brought up R.I.P. Joy Morgan. Like, this ain't the first rodeo of people in IUIC committing treasonous acts of violence against people that are a part of their organization. This is not the first time. I'm going to see. I don't know if I have the pictures in this phone. I'm just going to see if I'm just scrolling through my phone real fast just to see if I have the pictures in this phone. And if I do, I'll gladly show them. I just don't know if I have them. I don't think I do. But I'm just going through my phone. Nah. Let me go through my gallery. Give me a second, y'all. I'm just looking in my gallery just to see if I have the pictures in here. Let me see. Because I did this in 2023. So I'm just trying to see if I can go back to that time. Bear with me, y'all. Oh, that's 2024. And if you go on my channel, maybe I'll do it from my channel. Maybe I'll go to the video on my channel, see if I have it in there. Damn, I got a lot of photos in here, man. Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus, there's a fire. Nope. Let me see if I get to 2023. Bear with me. I have a habit of having a talk while I search shit. I don't know how to be quiet. Oh, I think I might have it. Let me see. Let's see. That's June. That's July. Look at my baby girl. I do. So now I'm going to show y'all. This is his arm. This is the brother's arm broken in 3 places by this member of IUIC. That's his arm. His arm broken in 3 places. That's one. This is his face. That's the brother Titus's face by the member of IUIC. This is the member of IUIC that did it. Got arrested for the crime. That's the member of him that did it. Let me see. This is the sling. This is his arm in the sling. This is the brother Titus's arm in the sling. Let me see. Let me see if that did. Look, this is also his arm. That's what the brother did to his arm. That's what this man who said that he loves his brother did to another brother. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. So maybe I'll leave my phone here so I can show y'all if I have to show the pictures again. So when I get these pictures, I actually get in touch with the brother Titus. I asked Titus, I said, Titus, would you be willing to come on my show to talk about it? Because he said what he said, and this is why, to this day, I think why a lot of people come to me is because I have a reputation for, if there's a problem, no matter who the problem is with, if you come to me, I'll talk about it. That's my reputation. I don't fear nobody. I fear the Most High. In servitude, I fear Commander General Mahima, because they also fear, and the other generals and anybody that rank me, because we all fear the Most High. Even in our mantra says, who do we fear? The Father we fear, right? But outside of that, ain't nothing nobody could do to me ever in life. And so when he comes to me and he's like, nobody's talking about this, I say, you know what? I'm going to talk about it. I said, so come on to my show. Come on to my show. And what was heavy, what was bugged out is that Cross the Line had got banned from going live for a time. So I had to use this channel to do the show. And when he did it, so I'm going to play some of the interview. Let me go to it. This is what I don't have a picture of, but you can see here. This is his face. That's the brother Titus's face. That's the brother Titus's face. This post was by Trap With Us. That's the brother Titus's face. This is what a member of IUIC did to a brother that was a member that he called and set up. This brother Titus was set up at a movie theater in Memphis by somebody he thought was a friend. The captain of IUIC comes out there and beats the hell out of him. Let me see if I can, I'm going to see if I can play. Let me see if we got him on it. So he came on. Let's see.
Just follow me.
Okay. Now, where are you taking us to, brother? So he came.
I'm going to show you. I'm in front of the Paradiso movie theater.
And brought us to the scene that it happened.
Now, as you can see right there, there's a charger. Light on you. It's a charger right
there.
there.
So when you watch that,
on duty,
when you go and watch that video, trust me, don't begrudge a brother for going to the law. However, I would have dealt with it differently. There's plenty of different ways to deal with it. That's why I said in the law, in the scriptures, it said, why would you go to the unjust before the just? But when you have a brother that believes that this organization was the just and then do him unjustly, you got to ask, what should he have done? That's the crazy part. He should, like, in a real world sense, right? Let's say if IUIC was righteous, they are not. But let's say if they was. In a real world sense, and this is the problem that I think people have when it comes to Israelites. People think that when we say we Israelites, that means there's nothing that anybody could do wrong because we Israelites. Y'all must not read the Bible. Israelites in the Bible is some wild niggas. They wild. It's a lot of disobeying God in the Bible. What we supposed to learn from that is to have a structure in place. So that way, when things do go wrong between Israelites, there's a righteous order, a righteous judge, a righteous judgment to resolve the issue. That's the point. The whole point of Christ saying when you go to him and him alone is so you two can work out. If y'all two can't work it out, you go to 2 or 3. If the 2 or 3 can't work it out, you go in front of every. The whole point of that is to have righteous judgment. So it's not that being an Israelite mean everybody is absolutely perfect. You do right. What makes Israel perfect is your structure, your obedience to the Most High, so that you can resolve issues. So in a real world, let's say if this happens, If IUIC would have handled it, we probably would never know about it. Let's say he does this to him, but they go to Titus, protect Titus, judge this captain, destroy, punish, take rank, do whatever it is required to this captain so that Titus is redeemed. We might not never know about this story. It might be somewhere they could say, yeah, this happened, but we did this to this captain. What is this captain's name? Let me see if I can get this captain's name. I don't see the name. In my picture, it doesn't, it just has permanent ID, race, ethnicity, but I don't see the name of him in my picture. So I can't give you his name, otherwise I would give you his name. But if they redeemed Titus and punished that captain, then they could say, yeah, you know, things happen, but look what we did. We took care of it. They did absolutely nothing. That cat's still teaching in IUIC. Still teaching. Still teaching. And now, so the incident happens in 2022. I do that interview in 2023. Y'all may not know, but I have talked to that brother Titus, and if not every month, every 6 weeks since that time that I interviewed him, I've talked to that brother. We talked about the case, we talk about counsel, we talk about his trucking, we talk about him moving, we talk about where he lived, we talk about day-to-day life. I've stayed in constant communication with that brother for 2 reasons. And General Hyman said this on the radio show last night. When General Hyman said on the radio show last night was that 2 things have to be done. Judgment, meaning we have to get judgment for the actions that happens, and you need a friend. Yeah, Hosea, some shit like that. Y'all think that's his name? Captain Hosea, I believe, is this nut-ass nigga's name. So General Hyman said we need 2 things. We need justice and you need a friend. Since that incident has happened, I have been friends with Titus. And people may say, well, Cap, you only friends with him because it's IUIC. If you go ask, I was friends with Hassan Campbell. When that thing happened with Hassan Campbell and we did that rally, I stayed in constant communication with Hassan Campbell. Y'all know him as Poppy, until he went Looney Tune too. So this ain't a IUIC thing. I want everything that's against God, I want to fall. But this has nothing to do with whether it's IUIC or not. This has to do with a brother or sister needing help or not. For those that don't know, Poppy Hassan Campbell back in I think this was 2017 maybe. In 2017, that's when Ron Savage and Hassan Campbell came out and said that Africa Bambaataa was molesting them. And when that happened, me and Hassan, I did a rally, and me and Hassan had constant communication. I even did a show in the Bronx with Hassan Campbell. So, you know, I stayed in touch with that brother, like I said, until he went crazy. And when I'm saying went crazy, like, even to this day, it's hard for me to... It's not, okay, I can't say it's hard. So, I do believe that Hassan Campbell is crazy, but I understand where that comes from. When your childhood has been messed up, Hassan is never going to have a normal life. Ever. Now, if he came into IUIC, he could have a normal life. And I know a lot of people are going to say, you know, Hassan makes a lot of money. That Hassan turned that tragedy that happened to him into a lucrative, you know, he's a owner. He don't work for nobody. He works for himself. He turned that into something great for him as far as YouTube, getting interviewed and stuff like that. So I don't mean normal life as far as being able to pay bills. I'm talking about normal life, meaning his mental. Like, who does he trust? Hold on one second. Hey, caller, is this on subject?
Hey, shalom, Cap.
Hey, shalom, Mike. Is this on subject?
I'm not sure.
Okay, give me like No problem. So give me like 15, 20 minutes. I'm just talking about what happened to this brother Titus. So give me like 15, 20 minutes and then call back. That way I could just stay on this subject. And then you call. Or if you don't call back, I'll call you back. But give me like 20 minutes.
All right, I'll call back.
All right, no sweat, brother. All right. So, but when I'm talking about his psyche, like I guarantee you, Hassan doesn't trust people. Guarantee he still has trauma for what happened to him as a kid, what happened to him as a teenager, what happened to him as an adult. I guarantee that. That's what I mean when I say normal life. And without this truth, all of us would suffer from whatever happened in our past. So this ain't a, IUIC thing. This is an IUIC thing because this is an IUIC thing because IUIC let a captain do this to a brother, created an environment where the captain felt comfortable enough to do it. That Captain Hosea, I believe was his name, he had to know that IUIC wasn't going to do shit because they ain't done shit. They've done absolutely nothing. They haven't contacted Titus. They haven't tried to sit with Titus. They ain't tried to make amends with Titus, knowing that somebody in their school did that to him. That's insane. That is absolute. I remember back in Queens a couple years ago, we took a camp spot in Queens. When we go to the camp spot in Queens, first couple times that we go out there, we don't see nobody. Then maybe the fourth or fifth time, IUIC shows up at the camp spot. And I'm thinking, I wasn't at camp that day, but I'm thinking okay, why is IUIC showing up at the camp spot we was at? And we go out there. So now when I'm out there, I see, so when I came out there one time, they had one camp spot. Then when I came out there, they had two camp spots surrounding us. And we start blazing on them. I mean, when I say I start blazing on them, blazing to no end. And then I said, you know what? Let me go find out about them. Let me go talk to them and see what's up. Let me see if these are some cats that is trying to take a camp spot. Let me see what's up. So I took me, Shamawa Allah, and Zakar, just 3 people, roll up to their camp spot. I start talking to them, and I think they played this video. I go talk to them, and I say, and I just asked them, I said, hey man, I said, we came out here, we ain't see nobody at this camp spot. Because normally, for those that don't know, we go out there, look at a camp spot, we look at it, check it out. If ain't nobody there, we take the spot. So I said, yo, we ain't see nobody out here, man. It was well, we don't come out a lot in the wintertime. But we've had this spot for years. They showed me the proof that they had this spot for years. And so I said, okay, all right, no sweat. Y'all can have a camp spot. Commander Jane Hunter said y'all can have a camp spot. So I don't have the emotions like that. I don't move with an effeminate spirit to where I'ma just, I don't care if y'all had the spot. We taking it now. I didn't do that. I did what's right because that's what you're supposed to do. And IUIC was supposed to do what's right for Brother Titus. So since they won't and Titus come to me, I will. So as Titus is telling me, and I could tell y'all more, but Titus want me to just wait until this case is over. Because the reason why I can go so hard on this case, reason why I could go so hard on what has happened to this brother Titus is because I know things that the public just don't know yet. And Titus has asked me not to say anything until this comes out. So I just know stuff. I just know some stuff that's going to come out. I know evidence that's going to come out. I know everything that's going to come out. So I can speak on this with confidence. Somebody put Deuteronomy 19:15 that says, only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers that loved and he chose their seed of me. I don't even know what the point of that scripture is. So that's why I uploaded the video. I re-uploaded the video so that y'all can see IUIC's reputation. And it ain't just him. IUIC has had a tranny in their organization. IUIC has had a Hamite, unalive, a black sister in their organization. IUIC has caused bodily harm to Titus. There's tons of things violently that IUIC has done that needs to be brought to the light. And then lastly, and then I'll go ahead and take calls. I'll probably call the brother back. Lastly, when I always like going to look at comments. And I remember when Gorilla Hebrew did that nasty shit. We found out that nasty shit that Gorilla Hebrew was doing. And when I put up this video of what IUIC did, all the comments are the same. The comments, everything I'm going to say are the same comments on the video when I did with Gorilla Hebrew and the video I did with IUIC. That's your brother. We supposed to forgive. We supposed to do this. We supposed to do that. I never hear that when we're talking about people in the world, about forgiving. And I remember when I talked about the cussing pastor, before the cussing pastor died. Yeah, shout out to the good sister. I just mentioned that IUIC murdered a tranny. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It was a tranny lover in IUIC that unalived a tranny for sleeping with the tranny. So the member in IUIC loved trannies, got with a tranny, and then unalived the tranny. So it always trips me out when Israelites, sometimes I hate y'all. When I say sometimes I hate y'all because y'all are so Christian. When I say y'all are so Christian, y'all are the scum sometimes. Israelites I'm talking about. I look at when y'all act like this, y'all are worse than Christians. Israelites. I'm talking about you Israelites. And I hate y'all sometimes. The reason why I hate y'all is because y'all will condemn everybody that doesn't believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But when the person that's supposed to believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai does the same things as the ones you hate, you make an excuse for them. Every single time. Every time. Except IUIC. Now this one I will make what may seem like a personal, but it's just facts. Except IUIC. When Gentleman Hyman said, Gentleman Hyman, that's my nigga right there, right? When Gentleman Hyman said about the black woman being loud in the house in front of the kids and said, call her a bitch, y'all lost your minds. Like, how can General say call a black woman a bitch when he was very specific? When that woman is mentally abusing you, he said, you can't hit her. You can't do this, but you can defeat her with words. And Gentleman Hyman, Gentleman Hyman is so wrong. You can't do that. Can't do that. And let me not forget when the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett thing came out, and he gives this hypothetical class about Chris Rock should get her high and sleep with her and do all of that, even though we can read that in the Bible. Israel had no mercy. No mercy. Gentleman Hyman ain't shit. Gentleman Hyman ain't this. Gentleman Hyman, how dare you do that? But Gorilla gets pegged in his ass. Oh, we can't say nothing. Why do y'all attacking the brother? IUIC captain beats this brother Titus, breaks his arm in 3 places. Oh, why are you talking about him? Real life, y'all can't deal with. You pussy. And I hate you sometimes. And that's all of y'all. All of you leaders that don't say shit, I hate you too sometimes. All of you minions that's following your leaders, I hate you too sometimes. All of y'all, listen, every last one of you leaders that hasn't said shit about what happened to brother Titus, and you know what happened to him, you seen his arm, you seen the charge, and you ain't said nothing, you are a piece of shit. I'll tell you to your face, I'm saying it now, that's to all of you. It just is what it is. And if you don't like me, I mean, you probably talk about me behind my back already anyway, so it don't really change. The one thing When this is all said and done, Christ's return, kingdom gets settled, and Lord allow, I endure to the end. The one thing you'll never say about me is that I held my tongue about anybody or anything, and that I stood with the Most High regardless. I'll give you an example. There was some guy that called in the Cross the Line radio and said some lies about Zabak. When I found out that they was lies, I made sure that that was squared away. As a matter of fact, I think it was 2 years ago, it was me that went into the Crown of Thorns room and then made peace between my school and Zabak. I didn't have to. There was no reason to, but I did it. They still hold the grudge though. Always got to make sure, and you know, me and Zabak, you know, our relationship is cool, but they still hold a grudge though. If I go into their room, I still can't come on their stage though. That's just facts. All right, I just wanted to give y'all that recap. I think Ron texted me while we was talking. He says, you know, I don't care about name calling. All Israelites joking about say whatever they want because they gonna debate. I don't think he understands. I don't think Ron understands. Ron, I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm not gonna debate you because there's no genuineness to you. And there ain't a lot of genuineness in a lot of people that debate, but for somebody that I had on my platform, for somebody that when he needed a voice, he came to the Israelites for said voice, and then now is trying to condemn those same Israelites that was giving him the voice, I have no respect with him. All right. Now I'm gonna call the brother back that called me. Maybe I can get up out of here. Wait, let me get my water out the trunk real fast. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's good, brother?
What's going on? What's your name?
Where you calling from?
Where you calling
I'm
from?
not seeing you. What nigga? Where you calling from?
What? I mean, what's happening here? Like, you call my number, talk about where I'm calling from. I didn't make a call. This nigga gonna ask me where I'm calling from. He calling me. You can't be that damn stupid. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, man?
This is Fred from Florida.
Hold on 1 second, Fred. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Brooklyn from Jersey.
All right, hold on, brother. All right, Florida, what's up, man? You got a question or comment?
Yeah. We had talked the other day about, concerning magic and voodoo and stuff like that.
There's somebody with some background noise. Is that you? 908.
Probably.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead, brother.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Right here, if you look at 1 Samuel 28.
Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. You said 1 Samuel 28?
So we got 1 Samuel chapter 28 and verse.
You talk about when Saul did that, right?
When Saul disguised himself,
right,
to go to the woman who did divination. Mm-hmm. Now, if magic wasn't real, how was she able to do that?
Do you remember what I said to you when Do you remember what I said to you when we had the conversation?
Hold on. Yeah, I remember.
What I say?
Somewhat. Depends on what you're talking about.
On this subject.
You were saying that
when you get time, right? When you get time, I'm gonna say the same thing again, but when you get time, I want you to go back and listen because I'm gonna say the exact same thing. What I said was, I don't believe in magic or none of that. I said, but Pharaoh was able to turn his staff into a snake just like Moses. I said, Saul was able to call Samson up. I said, because it is the Lord that is in charge of all these things. And then I might have referenced this part. This part I'm not sure if I referenced. I said, when the Lord said, who shall make Ahab fall? And that spirit came and said, I'll be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. I said, all these things are controlled by the Most High. That was my answer to you. So I still don't believe in magic, but that he went to that spirit and the Lord made Samuel come up. That was my answer.
I understand your answer. It's just a bit confusing to say that it doesn't exist, but the Lord allowed it to happen. But I get it. I was, you know what I'm saying? I understand what your answer is.
I mean, here's how you know. Here's how you know it don't exist, right? What you know of voodoo, right? You know anything about voodoo or Santeria or anything like that?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Somewhere I don't know how to do it, but I know.
No, not if you know how to do it, but you know of it. So every time somebody put a voodoo spell and Santeria spells, do it work?
I've heard some occasions where people say it works. Like, why do people, for example, sell their soul, quote unquote, to get rich and famous? What is that? Isn't that considered magic?
Is it magic, really? Or do they sell their soul, aka let somebody have sex with them in their ass, and then they support them and make sure they records sell? Is that magic? Or did they just let somebody have sex with them in their ass, and then they just made sure they records sold? And then when they stop letting them get fucked in the ass, and then they stop selling their record, and they think they lost their soul, which they did. Is it magic, or did they just cut them off and stop supporting them? Right now, they'll say the same thing about Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp got big and popular, right? They'll say Shannon sold his soul. But did he sell his soul, or did he just did some foul shit with the white man, and now the white man said you got too big for your britches? It's not it ain't magic. You just got a white woman telling on him, and got another white woman telling on him. It's not magic. Some things is spiritual. I wouldn't call it magic when he called Samson up. I would call it spiritual.
So,
yeah, and read Ecclesiastes 39 when it says there be spirits made for vengeance. Now,
what was that?
There be spirits made. Ecclesiastes 39, and I think it's verse. It's Ecclesiastes 39, might be 21. Let me double check. Nope. 28. Ecclesiastes 39 and 28. There are spirits that the Lord can put on you to punish you. Remember, when Christ saw that man, it says legion, for we are many. You know what I mean? The Lord can. Listen, who put that spirit on Saul?
The evil spirit, God did that.
That's my point. You see that evil spirit? That's the Father in charge of that. So when I'm saying that the Lord is in charge of it, we can call it whatever we want to call it. Them voodoo people call it whatever they want to call it. It don't ever work. When the Lord want to punish somebody and use an evil spirit, then it works. Then they think it works. Then they think they give credit. So you know in Isaiah when it says there is no God besides me? You know what the voodoo and Santeria people are supposed to say? They supposed to say God did that. That's what they're supposed to say. Yes. But I ain't saying, let me make sure I say it right so you don't think I'm justifying it. What I mean is, when the evil or good act happens, they're not supposed to say, I don't know, give me a name of a voodoo god. You know any?
No, I don't.
Okay, so we're just gonna make one. We're gonna name it Sanamai. I'm gonna just make up a name, Sanamai. So say the voodoo. Say they worshiping the voodoo goddess Sanamai, and they praying to the voodoo goddess Sanamai. It ain't never happened. It ain't never happened. It ain't never happening. And then one day it happens. Sanamai didn't do it. The Lord might have had mercy on him, but Sanamai for sure didn't do it. If evil, Sanamai didn't do it. The Lord did it because we can read it. Shall they be evil in the city and God have not done it?
Okay, on the same topic though.
Mm-hmm.
This is my last question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you break down verse 13 for me in 1 Samuel 28? What is she saying? What's going on?
1 Samuel 1:28, and the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw God ascending out of earth. She saw a vision.
She saw a vision.
Yes. Just like,
And she said she
good, I'm sorry.
She said she seen God ascending out of the earth. What did she see?
That could be when you say God's ascending out of the earth. Verse 14, and he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up. So, you know how we're called gods. Man is called gods. That's not gods like the Most High. That's not what it's talking about. It's gods like we're called gods. And you know that because verse 14, it says, And he said unto her, What form is he of?
Right. Now, is only Israel considered gods?
No, Pharaoh was considered a god. Anything like gods as far as power. Nimrod would be a god. Barack Obama was a god. Donald Trump is a god. Anything of power can be called a god. That's why the Most High says, I am God, and besides me there is no Savior. Because we're not supposed to put no faith in Christianity, Allah, Voodoo, Hindu. We're supposed to just believe in the Most High. That's it. But we put names and attribute it to something else.
I got you.
All right, was that it?
Yeah, that's it. I appreciate it.
Hey, no sweat. All right. Next caller in the queue is 908-801.
Yeah, what's good, Cat?
What's up, brother? You got a question or comment?
I got a question in the comment. I just want to, question is, so like, you know, like we got the Bible and the Apocrypha and the books that, you know, that we would say is all we need, right? So
Right.
like, let's say, Hawashai didn't come back for like another 200 years, right? Would it be unlawful for like, let's say someone down the line was to make a book about like you guys, and then that would be added? Would that be unlawful?
No, it wouldn't be unlawful to keep, because it would be like history. It sounds like you're saying. It sounds like you're saying to keep historical records of what Abba Bivens did, to keep historical records of what Ariah did, Yaiqua, Mashah, like to keep historical records. No, the only thing it would be wrong is if you make any of us or any of them into like a deity, make it magical or, you know, something like that. Turn it into idol worship. Say we created some new feast days and stuff like that. Then those things would be wrong. But to just keep a historical record of the works that was done, is nothing wrong with that.
Okay. All right. And my comment is just, I'm just, you know, I appreciate y'all brothers. I'll be in class here and there, not in class as much as I should be.
Need to fix that out.
Yeah, definitely. Because a year ago, I had cardiac arrest, and I if you don't get treated, they say within 10-15 minutes you're supposed to die. My wife found me 7 hours later, and then my heart gave out. Ambulance came, they did CPR on me for 33 minutes to bring me back, and I was on life support for a week before I woke up. But while I was on life support, like the nurses and them, they're like, yeah, they don't think I'm gonna make it. So like they was like, do we listen to music? This, that, and the third. Like, you know, just for, like to play while I'm in the hospital. And the radio my sister bought was some bullshit, so it ain't get no signal. But she knew that I listened to y'all on YouTube, so she would play like videos that she would see me and hear me listen to.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that's what brought me back, but I'm saying it did something. You know what I'm saying? It did something that made me realize like I gotta I gotta change my life.
And
You know
how
what I'm
long?
saying? So
And how long ago was that up?
a year ago.
Well, the Lord was definitely with you and had mercy on you. I would put more stock
That's
that the
for sure.
Lord's Spirit was with you. And when it comes to this, to the nurses that played the videos, the nurses were even super kind to you in playing something that they knew would resonate with you. So they knew that listening to those Israelite speakings would resonate with you. And so the Lord showed a greater mercy. Now, if you don't get your behind up in class and build up a nation with the mercy that the Lord showed you, then you told me that story.
Yeah.
Then it's just a blessing.
Yeah.
You're a gift. You got a gift from the Most High. He blessed you with mercy, healed your body, and everything. Now it's about what do you do with that? Do you now, like, you familiar with the scripture where Christ said nobody puts their light under a candle because it'll go out?
Yeah.
Right. So the light under the candle is what you can. I'm not talking about you now. I'm just teaching now. The light in the candle is like, you're the light. Well, we're the light. Now, if you take that light, the light is like keeping the law. But if you take that light and you put it under the bed, you're keeping the law, yes. But don't nobody know you're keeping the law. Don't nobody know you're an Israelite. Don't nobody know you follow the Most High in a world where they following everything else because it's under the bed. And that light will dim because it's under the bed. That light will eventually go out because it's under the bed. But when you let your light shine and everybody can see it, you become an inspiration. You become what everybody may want to emulate and what everybody may want that light to have too. And it ain't enough of us doing that. It's not enough Israelites letting their light shine. Everybody else, I say this all the time, if we don't realize that we're in a direct competition with Satan, that's what we are. In Ephesians, the 6th chapter says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. You know what wrestling means, right? Like you wrestling, you grappling with somebody, and the whole goal is to pin them to the ground, right?
Yeah.
Right? So now, if we're wrestling and our enemy is the principalities of this world, the only way we can pin them to the ground is to make sure that we become the principality of this world. And if we just keep it to ourselves, like, what are we doing if we just keeping it to ourselves? We ain't doing nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're no better than the homeless man. We're no better than, hold on one second. Caller, hold on. We have to understand, like, when I get on different platforms and stuff like that, the reason why I say the most controversial, craziest things, because I know that's what this principality respects. So when I get out there, say the white man is the devil, we're going to whip him, we're going to put all those things are true. But nobody really has the balls to say it. And so I know if I say it, it's going to bring more attention to us. A Captain Akkad's Hebrew Academy class, I don't know if anybody has seen it, but that is causing a frenzy on the internet because they see black men training to rule over white people. That's how they're putting it in there. They putting it in the news articles like black men is training so that they can rule over white people. Now, if we don't get out there like that, then we're just the light under the bed. We're not the light letting everybody shine. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying that because you said you're not in it like you should. Sounds like you want to be in it. So, brother, I'm telling you, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I be talking to the I can't even, I got bad memory. I be forgetting his name, but the brother he run the school out here in North. I'm in Jersey. I'm in Irvington.
Okay,
so
you talk about Kawaga,
I reached out.
You talk about Kawaga.
I be hitting them like if I need counsel and things like that. I try to do the classes, but I'm gonna get right. I'm gonna get right for sure.
No sweat, brother. Well, Lord be with you, brother. I'm looking forward to it.
I appreciate you, Cat.
Hey, no sweat. Likewise. You take care.
All
right. Next caller is Cali number.
Shalom, Cap.
Hey, shalom, brother. You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I got a question about a scripture. I think it's 2 Peter 3:16. Or No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Second Peter's. Yeah, actually,
About
Second
Paul?
Peter's.
About Paul?
Huh?
About Paul?
Yeah.
What about it?
This is this Peter that Christ made the rock of the church?
Yes.
So I noticed I'll be listening to your debates, and I'll be listening to a lot of your debates, and I noticed they always run to Paul.
Right.
But this scripture right here is so cold because it gives a warning about Paul's letters. I don't know why, like, a lot of Hebrews don't really utilize this scripture a lot.
I don't utilize it as much as I should either. Like sometimes I do, and then sometimes I don't, because when you read it, it don't even just say Paul. It also says, and the wrestle with other scriptures to their own destruction. I should have used it in that debate I had Saturday. I don't know why.
This is a cold cut.
Yeah, that's definitely a cold cut. You sound like you trying to low key check me and shit. Sound like you saying, I'm just messing with you, brother. I'm just messing with you.
So, Cap, I'll be like, yeah, why they don't go to it? Because a lot of times I noticed that Hebrew Israelites be like, well, Christ is my head, right? Christ is the authority,
right?
And then on top of that, you got a person who's appointed by Christ. So it's like y'all jumping to Paul. Y'all. It's like a lot of times people got a problem with being ranked and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only do you got Christ saying one thing, you got the person he appointed giving you warning about the same brother you struggling with. You get what I'm saying? So
right. I
don't know. This is a cold cut to a lot of people that run the Paul's writing.
Definitely, brother. Definitely.
I'm
gonna make sure I put it in my arsenal more, so you ain't got to call and check me no more. No, I'm just joking, brother. I'm just joking. But I appreciate the call, brother.
All right, shalom.
All right, shalom. Last caller says, Brittany, you're the only one on the line.
How you doing, Cap?
Hey, what's going on, brother? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I got a comment. I just wanted to sound the alarm about the movie Sinners.
Sound the alarm?
Right. Yeah.
What's alarm?
I had a brother.
What's alarming about it?
Okay, what's alarming about it is I see a lot of the conscious community and other religious groups pushing this movie on our people, right? Mm-hmm. And we know this entertainment is a part of the tool they use for us to stay in sin.
To stay what?
So I said, these things, basically, the movies and the entertainment are the tools they use for us as a people to stay in sin. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go back and look at most of the movies we grew up on, they were all negative titles. You know what I'm saying? Like Boys in the Hood, everybody's top 5. Let me just give it in that category, or even like Tyler Perry. Mm-hmm. Or if you go to a platform and it expresses, and you see the category Black Cinemas, it's nothing but simple titles to it, right? And when Sinners came out, I already knew this was something big, and I knew the conscious community and the religious community was going to get behind this. Like, Black people, go watch it. Black people, go watch it, right? So I premeditated on going to watch it, but the spirit was just like, man, don't go watch it, because you probably can't even watch it just due to what you know, right?
Why you can't watch it? You ain't helping me out.
Okay. Yeah. Because we those things we gotta, things come through our gates, our ear gates, our eye gates, and if you ain't got the most.
What comes through our gates, brother?
The demonic scenes, the music.
Okay, so what was what was the demonic scenes?
Okay. So my brother and his wife went to go watch it, right?
Right. Hold on one second. Caller, hold on. Okay, so your brother and his wife went to go watch it.
Right? Mm-hmm. And they said they were watching it. Did you watch the movie?
I saw it. I'm gonna go see it again.
Okay. Because Dr. Umar said the same thing. Like, I'm gonna go see it again, and I'm like,
But come on, what they watched it? You said they watched it, and what happened when they watched it?
Okay. So they were watching it, right? And it got to a point where I guess they were
doing the song kind of at the end, and they were chanting. And he said, man, they start chanting something. So he said he tried to block it out. He's saying, yeah, just trying to block out that song or whatever they were chanting, right? And he said he seen a shadow. They were sitting in the front. They were sitting in the front, basically, like where the handicapped people, sit.
Right.
He said he seen a shadow go right in front of him like it was crouching. A shadow. Boom, boom, boom. And he said he thought he was tripping. He's like, hold on, did I just not see a shadow? And he said he was so fixated on that shadow that he also felt something behind him, like a man just standing. A man standing. And he was like, this could possibly be the shadow of that man that's standing behind me, right?
Yeah. Hey, brother, I'm gonna tell you, your brother's scared of the dark, brother.
No, hold on. No, let me just this story real quick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he seen it, and his wife also seen the same thing, but she didn't want to alarm him. Like, dang, I'm crazy. Like, but she actually seen the same thing. So she said she got up, looked around, nobody was behind him.
Nobody.
And she said when she seen that shadow, she could see it. She said she seen it plainly. It was hunched over, just walking. A shadow. And they said when they turned around to see that apparition or whatever was behind them, it was gone.
It was gone.
It wasn't even there.
Right. Hey, brother.
So they said they got up and boom.
So they ran out the movie theater.
They got out of there. And what's funny, when you go into the bathroom after the movie theater, you realize, like here in Oklahoma City, our tiles are black and white.
Right.
Which is Masonic. Come on, we know that's right. We know it's Masonic. So we know these places, and it's on the east side. It's the biggest theater, the cheapest theater. And he said when he went in there, it was nothing but black folks.
Hey, y'all Israelites? Are y'all Israelites?
Yeah, we Israelites.
Okay, I would suggest, right, that y'all work on y'all
yes,
faith.
Sir.
I would suggest that you work on your faith. I'm gonna give you a scripture, right? This is in the book of Numbers 23 and 23. It says, surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob, of Israel, what hath God wrought. When you have faith in the Most High, there is no enchantment. I wish a motherfucking ghost would. Listen, I wish I was in the movie theater with him. We'd have beat the shit out of whoever they thought it was. That's how you're supposed to be. But now, let me help you out. That movie, did you ever see Black Panther?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it. It didn't. It wasn't my cup of tea.
But that ain't what I mean, though. When Black Panther came out, right? How did black people act when Black Panther came out?
Just because it had the word black in it, we went hysterical.
Right? Wasn't we Wakanda forever?
Yeah, we were Wakanda forever. Everybody,
no, just follow me for a second. We was Wakanda forever. Everybody was walking up. They ain't do daps no more. They was doing this shit with the cross with the X. They was doing Wakanda forever. They thought that was them. That was the land of milk and honey. That movie, even though it's a comic book movie. Here's what plays black people. What plays black people is we're too visual. We won't read shit, but we will look at symbolism in everything. You just told me on the floor in the bathroom it's black and white because it's Masonic. Because we're a symbolistic type of people. We're carnal. Without the Lord, we are absolutely and completely carnal. Sinners is a beautiful movie. Well, you know what I learned the most from Sinners? You can't trust Asians either. Kill the Asian too. Kick the Asian out, because if you let the Asian stay in there, the Asian is the reason the vampires came in the damn place. And everybody died. There was nothing. Yo, listen, man. Sinners was a vampire movie. That's it. Have you ever seen Underworld?
No, I understand. I understand.
Brother, I'm trying to free your mind, brother. You gotta listen to me, because what you saying about sinners, right? Black people do this with every black movie. There ain't a black movie on the planet that black people don't go see and make it real life and then create a competition. Because what Sinners is doing, when the brother made the movie Sinners, he's just showing black men with some power come back into a land, run into some vampires. Not only did they kill all the vampires, they then killed the clan. That's what we supposed to get out that movie is that brother died slaying every white person in the movie. Everybody white died.
Okay.
Listen, brother, shut up. Hey, brother, stop, brother, because you suffer.
But look, Cap. I can't speak, brother. Cause look, we both have our own opinions about it. Can I get my opinion in?
You ain't see it to give an opinion.
I watch you and listen to you all the time.
Did you see the movie?
No.
Then you can't give an opinion. That's why you gotta listen. Your brother and his wife saw the movie. I saw the movie. You can't give an opinion on something you didn't see. You're giving an opinion, right? The only opinion you're giving right now is that Christians and the conscious community is arguing about it. But you can't give an
arguing about it. I didn't say they were arguing about it. They're saying go watch it.
But you can't give an intelligent opinion on the movie because you have not seen it. It's like if we start talking about a law book and the lawyer. Wait, slow down. It's like you and I having an argument about law. You studied the law, I didn't, but I'm giving my opinion on something I don't know nothing about. That's what you're doing right now, and I'm just trying to educate you on the movie. So let me educate you.
But look. But let me explain that to you. That movie isn't education. It's not education.
You're making. Listen, you Christians.
You can educate me on the movie. That's not education.
Wait, slow down.
It's not fruitful for our people.
Boy.
If the movie wasn't called
the movie. No, I watch. Listen, man.
That word called Sinners.
Brother, I didn't go see the movie. Brother, I didn't go see the movie because it was called Sinners. That's not why I saw the movie.
See, that's what you don't know.
No, nigga, that is what I know.
See, look right there, the word nigga. You don't know that.
Call a hold on. Brother, what I need you to do, right? Let's just relax for a second. Calm yourself down.
I'm not a nigga.
Brother, you are definitely, brother, is nigga in the Bible?
Don't use that N-E-G-R.
Is nigga in the Bible? I'm just asking you a question.
Look, not the nigger they was talking about.
Yes, it is. Here's what I want you to now. Hey, Sal, hold on. Are you calling to be on the live?
I wanted to ask you a question, bro. I got a fiery debate for you.
All right, but I'm doing a live right now, though.
All right, call me when you finish.
All right, no sweat. All right. Hey, brother, when I'm saying nigga is in the Bible, right? When you go to Acts 13:1, here's what I want you to do on your own time. I want you to go to I want you to go to blueletterbible.com. And you know how when you go to Acts 13:1, I want you to highlight the word Niger, and I want you to play the sound for it. And it's pronounced nigger. That's how it's pronounced. It's not pronounced. We think it's pronounced Niger because of the country Niger in Africa. But the word is actually pronounced nigger. You ain't got to believe me. I want you to go listen to it. So when I say nigger, it's in the Bible. So here's my point, brother. When I'm saying educate you, I'm not talking about the movie being educated. What I'm talking about is if right now in the gym, if you've never worked out, I have to educate you on working out. If you never saw the movie, I'm saying educate you, meaning tell you what it's about. You don't know what it's about. You know the title, you know your brother and his wife saw it. You know that people think it's real. You know people, Umar saying go see it again. They saying it's symbolism. They getting in trances. That's what you know. I can tell you what the movie is about. Here's what the movie is about. The movie is about two twin brothers coming back to the city that they once lived in after robbing the mob, being in the military, and they go establish a juke spot, a club. When they establish the club, then they show another scene of a white man falling, about to burn up because he's a vampire, and he gets saved by these two white girls, this white couple. He turns them into vampires, and then the only way they can get into the club where the black people are out is if they let them in. And then it just turns into a vampire movie. But the shit is fire. That's it. Now,
Look.
wait.
Well,
I'm not finished, brother.
Ain't nothing good in the club.
Brother.
Ain't nothing good in the club.
Brother, it's a fucking movie, dummy.
But look. It's a movie, but our people is going through. Let me tell you.
I can't talk to this nigga no more. I try. And before I get to the next caller is 760. Before I get to the next caller, black people, stop making black movies real like this. This is a vampire movie, man. I ain't never heard niggas watch Underworld. I ain't never heard niggas watch Dracula Untold and then leave the movie theater looking for vampires and symbolism and shit like that, man. Why do we do that? Why do we do this shit? I don't understand it, man. Y'all gonna drive me crazy, man. 760-780. What's your name? Where you calling from, man? God damn.
What's up? This is about Cap. What's up?
What's going on? What's going on, brother?
What's up? I'm gonna ask you a question. That was funny. That was funny when you said that. But in pronouncing words,
right?
And pronounce, the grammatical structure of words is one thing, but it's another thing to speak a language in another person's linguistical pattern. Now, let me ask you a question. The movie with the sinners.
Right.
I'm not going to see the movie. The shit got to come free to me. I'm not going no Cinemax. I'm not doing none of that shit.
Right.
For one, I don't believe in that shit. I was raised to believe.
You don't believe in what? You don't believe in what?
Well, first of all, you said you don't know how Pharaoh.
No, hold on, wait. When you say you don't believe, wait, brother, before you talk about Pharaoh, when you say you don't believe in that shit, what don't you believe in? Vampires?
When people start talking about vampires, magi, right, Satan, all that stuff, because I don't believe in
vampires. Let me wait. Off this totally off subject, right? You ever watch you ever watch any of the Avengers movies?
No, I don't get into that.
Did you ever see any Transformers movies?
Yes, I'm not a real big fan of sci-fi.
No, that's okay. Okay, no problem.
But when I watch them,
give me a movie. Give me a movie. Okay, so when you watch the movie, when you watch Transformers, you do not watch that shit and then thinks that there's robots in disguise on the planet Earth, do you?
No, I don't watch that movie and take what's on the screen literally.
Thank you. So now why? Wait, slow down. Exactly. That's my point. So why? And since we're talking about the movie Sinners, which ends up being about vampires, why are we now making Sinners be any more realer than Transformers? Cars are not going to transform.
We've been taught to be suspicious. We come from a
now you on it. Now you on
of interpreting things based on how we observe them in the lens in which we observe. Right. So we as a people, because they know that about us, they have been using that for centuries against our people.
You know what's crazy when you say that, right? You know why they gave us because you don't follow this, I'm gonna educate you just on this part, right? The movie Panther, right? The Black Panther, which is about the superhero.
Yeah. I went to see that one.
Okay, so now, do you know the reason why? Because what you said was right about our suspicion, and we're very symbolistic. Like that's why earlier I was saying we're a carnal people. And what I mean by that is this, and the white man knows this about us. So during the time that they was making comic books, most of the superheroes in comic books, the white ones, were all American. Superman, American. Captain America, Aquaman, all of them are American.
Correct.
The reason why they made Panther be from a magical unknown city in Africa is because they didn't want to give black people a black superhero that really had value in the Americas because of how visual we are and we would have used that.
Right.
And so you know what they gave us?
Right.
You ever heard of this superhero? You ever heard of this superhero called Cage? A black superhero called Cage?
Cage.
Right. You know
Spawn,
how Cage talked? He talked in a real shuck and jive. You jive, sucker. You jive, turkey. You jive like this.
That's true.
And the reason why he talked like that is because of the superstition and symbolism that you talking about. So I wish you would have been the previous caller, because you talk with more sense.
You had me rolling though, man. I could have been in this. You had me rolling because you didn't. Listen, bro, I could get down with the real, but when you kept saying, nigga, take a breath. And he said, oh, listen, he just went on some shit. But I understand why, our people would go to the bathroom and see it all chestboarded out.
Right.
And hop on the seat because we think we're standing on the Masonic.
Yeah, because we're on the Masonic. But that's how crazy and superstitious. And even in the New Testament, when Paul says, I perceive that thou art too superstitious. That's what we are. And we only do that because, and I'm going to let you go. I just want to just take about 6 seconds. And the reason is because we're more superstitious than realistic. It's more superstitious for us to believe that if we go play the lotto, we're going to get $1 million than it is for us to not eat pork because we'll live, to not sell drugs because we're going to go to jail, to not get high because we're going to die. Now, that's realistic. But that's realistic. You know what I'm saying? What's not realistic is the movie Sinners, man. That's the symbolism, you know what I'm saying? Because the vampire, the white man come to suck your blood. They rather believe that, and they'll talk about that fantasy world all day instead of real life.
Well, that's what they're doing on these platforms now. Everybody has a director's seat, and everybody's critiquing the movie.
Right.
Like, this is what it means, and this is what it don't mean.
This shit is real life, son.
And now people talking about walking down the street and it's getting nighttime and thinking they see some shit running over in some bushes. Yep. And I'm like, damn, this is some powerful shit. When you can make people think they see shit that ain't there. That's how the mind is. Right. But at the same time, I would say this. This is on a serious note. Let me ask you a question about this. Now, you said you don't believe in magic, right?
Yeah.
But you do believe, based on the fact that it's written in the Old Testament, that Moses, under the power of the Lord and or Most High, as people refer to, gave Musa the ability to turn that staff into a
Not only that, but Pharaoh did it too.
Yeah, Pharaoh did it too.
Right.
Okay, so now Pharaoh knew magic, whatever authority he was doing his magic on, and then Moses was doing his magic. Then who's the co-equal, or are those two magics equal?
Okay. So
in the ability to produce that.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna answer your question. The Lord did both of them, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna say it in the Bible.
Wow, you listen to what you said, Cap.
Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. I want you to hear me. So now in Exodus, when the Lord sent Moses, the Lord told Moses he would harden Pharaoh's heart. You're familiar with that, right?
Yes, I remember. That's in the book. That's in
Exodus, right? So now, so the hardening of his heart was every time Moses would do something. So first, the hardening was Moses would go to Pharaoh, say, "Let the people go, so we can go." Matter of fact, Moses didn't want the people to be away from Egypt. He just wanted them to go worship God for 3 days. That's all he asked Pharaoh.
Yes, he did.
Right? Pharaoh said no. So then they have the battle over the staff. When they have the battle over the staff, how you know it was the Lord is because the Lord set him a heart in his heart. So when they have the battle with the staff, they make the staff, Moses make the staff. Of course, Moses' staffs beat them. When the plagues start coming, why couldn't Pharaoh's magician stop the plague?
I don't know why that saga played out like that, but I know one thing. most black people, particularly in America.
No, wait. I want to
stay.
I just want to stay right here. So remember, you asking about Pharaoh. I want to stay here so you can understand why I say God did both. So we can talk about America in a second. So go ahead. When the magician for Pharaoh makes the staff, Moses' staff wins. When the plagues start coming on to Pharaoh, the hailstorm, the frogs, my question to you is, why couldn't Pharaoh's magicians get rid of it? That's my question, brother.
Oh, probably because according to the writers and the transcribers, that God was supposed to win out over Pharaoh. That's the only thing I can logically come up with, because based on the Pentateuch and the Septuagint and the Mosaic books, which was around 700 to 500 BC, before Christ. How is it that Moses wrote those 5 books? Where did he get his source from to write those 5 books? So Genesis on down.
Got you.
In a time he didn't live.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna read this first, and I'm gonna answer that question. This is Exodus 7 and 8. And the Lord spake unto Moses, unto Pharaoh, and Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. So now, of course, he makes the serpent, Pharaoh makes the serpent. Right after that, the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. The hardening is that the Lord made sure that the magicians could make that serpent, just like the Lord made sure that Samuel could get raised up. And that's why when the plagues came, the reason why the magicians couldn't work, because the Lord made it not so. Amos 3:6 says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Most High, right, and the Most High have not done it. So when we looking at what we're supposed to see when we read this, even when that evil spirit came upon Saul, that evil spirit didn't do it of his own. The scripture says the Lord put that evil spirit on him. When Ahab had that lying spirit, the scriptures say the Lord put that lying spirit. The Lord is the father of all spirits. So they can only...
Why do you keep saying Lord, Cap?
Or the Father. When I'm saying Lord, I'm talking about the Most High or Yahweh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Christ. So in this context, I'm talking about
the Lord. You're not talking about the Lords of England and the Lords of... No.
I'm talking about the Most High. I'll say Most High, so you know. No problem. So the Most High is in charge of every spirit. So whatever that spirit is doing, the Most High has authorized or sent that spirit to do so. And so that's the charge. That's why those things are able to do it. But what we do as mankind, we name that spirit something else and then worship it. Just like we worship the sun. The scriptures say, why would you worship the sun? Why wouldn't you worship the creator of the sun? But we worship the sun. We worship the moon. We worship the star. We worship a tree bark. We worship a rock. We worship anything except the creator that created it. Hey, I'll take this last question, and then I got to take this other.
Okay, bro. Only thing, I'm going to let you go with this, and I think I'll get back with you on this. It's just this. How did Moses...
that's okay. I'm sorry.
5 books.
So I'm going to answer that. Got you. So in Exodus, the 20th chapter, right? You're familiar with the term 10 Commandments, right?
Yeah, Sister Beat the Meal. Yeah, I remember.
Right.
I know about it.
You said Sister Beat the Meal. You definitely an old head. So now in Exodus 20, right? As the Lord, so in the beginning of those commandments, that's the Lord talking to all the children of Israel at one time. When you get the verse in Exodus 20, when you get to verse 18, it says, and all the people saw the thunderings, the lightnings, the noise, and when they saw it, they told Moses, you go talk to the Lord, and then we'll listen to you. So when Moses went up to the mountain, the Lord gave Moses all of the information that he has as far as creation, as far as Abraham, as far as Noah, as far as Isaac. The Lord gave that to him directly. That's how he got it. Now, brother,
what did the Lord tell Moses his name was when Moses turned back?
Yahweh.
No, he said, I am.
No. I am is a title.
You look at it in English, though,
brother,
because I don't speak fluent Hebrew.
Brother.
And nowhere in that chapter does it say that. It might say that in Hebrew,
brother,
but it doesn't say that in English.
Brother.
In the English, it says, I am that I am.
Brother. Brother, just listen.
You know that, Cap. You know that. Just say it's in the English KJV as I am,
brother.
But it may mean that in Hebrew.
No,
Let's
brother.
agree.
No, we can't agree there. I'm gonna tell you. Just relax,
Cab.
Brother. I'm gonna just answer this so I can get the next call. Exodus 3 and Exodus 3 and 13. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers have sent me unto you, they shall say unto me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? Verse 14. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said,
Correct.
Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent you. Verse 15. And God said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever. When he says, I am that I am, and I am, that's him cutting Moses for asking him that question. It's like
asking the question.
Yeah, it's like tell him I am sent you. That's who sent you.
So Moses should have known,
brother. You got to
know before him.
No. Not that he should have known the name. He shouldn't have been concerned about the name. That's the point.
Okay, I understand.
You understand?
Okay, one last question.
No,
brother. Hebrew Israelite?
Yes, I was a Christian. But now you got to you got to let me answer. Can I take the next call, brother, please?
Yes, sir. All right.
Thank you, brother. You have a good day, man.
All right. Right on. Hey,
let me tell y'all something. About 770-990. You next. Let me tell y'all something about he hung up. Let me tell y'all something about old people. Old people, it's hard to get them off the phone. Old people, it's hard to end the conversation. Every time you talk to an old person, and this ain't no knock on old people. I love talking to old people. You see, I asked them if I could go. But they gonna talk you to death. They're gonna be like, no, this the last thing. And then it's gonna be one more thing. Then it's gonna be another thing. Then I don't know, from my father, my grandfather, everybody. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, brother? This got to be quick.
Okay, Cap. This is Griffin from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question about the Cincinnati situation with the young man losing his life. I had a question about why
you talk about what the cop?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, why do black people, instead of trying to use it as a lesson of like not putting ourselves in these type of situations, why do we always try to play the victim? Because when I looked at the little situation or whatever, they was in a stolen car, and he also had a gun. It was confirmed.
Let me ask you a question, right? What a cop? Why does a cop go to police academy?
I would assume to serve and protect the community.
Right, to serve and protect, right? Aren't they going there Aren't they going there to learn how to not let their emotions get the best of them, to be trained to do their job?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it comes to black people, do they control their emotion?
It depends on the situation. Some cops do, some cops don't.
Right, because this ain't about honest. Right. And so remember, your question is, why do black people play the victim? Black people don't play the victim. Here's a problem.
Okay.
Historically, cops are the most undisciplined and unserving police when it comes to black people. That's been our experience in America. Even though cops go to the police academy to get trained to serve and protect the community, it's not supposed to be race-based. It's supposed to be protecting the people. So when you see them videos when white men and white women are cussing out cops, white men and white women with guns. There's a video, I did a show one time, brother, where this white woman walked into a police station with a gun, shot up the police station. Do you know they tased her? They did not shoot her. They tased her.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
If you go on YouTube, no, brother. Remember, you said, why do we play the victim? That's what you said.
Yeah, but
so I'm trying to
get in this situation,
brother. You think it's about the situation? What that white woman did was a crime. Was it a crime for her to shoot up the police station? Yes, it was, right?
Yes, it was. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. They tased her. You know why they tased her? Because in police academy training, they are trained to not use excessive force. So although that white woman is shooting up, she's not outside the police station, not. She's inside the police station shooting at the front window. She sits down, gets on the phone, get back up, shoots the gun again. The cops strategically tase her so that they can subdue her that way. So and now I'm bringing up a woman that's committing a crime, because black people commit crime. Everybody commits crime. So this ain't about whether a person is innocent or not. This ain't about that. But if your job is to serve and protect, the history of black people and police in America is that for some reason they don't know how to serve the black community. Our history is getting shot. So now the father was not right for what he did to that officer. The father was not right. That officer had nothing to do with what happened to his son. But when you have the symbolism in our memory, the history in our memory, the interaction in our memory of us constantly getting shot, hung, stabbed. Now I don't want to say hung, but shot, arrested falsely by the police department, and then a father loses his son. You can't compare. We're not emotionally trained for that. The police department are supposed to be emotionally trained to where when they chasing a suspect, if that suspect is running, you don't shoot him. If the suspect pulls out a weapon, you don't shoot him initially. You have a disciplined training. What you're asking is for a father to be disciplined or trained for something that he was never trained for. A father is never trained for waking up and finding out that his son was unalived by a cop. A father is not trained to keep his emotions in check. A father is not trained for that. So, was he right? No. But do I understand it? Yes.
I got you, Cap. But what I'm trying to say is that his son was doing something that he wasn't supposed to do. That's the thing. If your son isn't in a stolen vehicle with a gun, your son will still be alive today. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't disagree with you.
Did they recover a gun?
I believe so. Yes, they confirmed he had a gun
on this number that I have right now. When you find that they recovered a gun, I want you to send me that link, because so far when I looked up, it's two sides. It's some saying he didn't have a gun, some saying he did have a gun. Now, but here's the bigger part. He's in a stolen car. He's on the run.
Right. Yes.
Does that mean that he's supposed to die?
Absolutely not.
That's the problem. Slow down. But that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you on this line trying to justify him dying, and you don't realize it.
No.
You hear what I'm saying?
I don't justify.
No. Hear what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you do. I'm not saying that that's your intent. That's not your intent. But I want you to understand, because what you're speaking to is the psychology that plays into us. Because we're gonna say he shouldn't have been in the car. He shouldn't have been in the car. You're right. He shouldn't have been in the car. No criminal, anybody committing criminal activity is not supposed to commit criminal activity. But the history that we have with police is that somehow or some way we always get shot when we become criminals. The white man doesn't get shot when he becomes a criminal. For some reason, we die.
That's not true, Cap. That's not true.
Listen,
you got to understand. You gave me one instance where a white woman went into police.
Brother, George Floyd had a knee in his neck. He was subdued and died on camera. That's our. You're not understanding what it mentally does, brother. It's mental. It's in our brain. Do you have kids, brother?
I do. I do have a child. Yes.
Right. So now, if I wouldn't know what I would do if it was my son. We don't know if that father raised his son the right way, and he didn't even know. He might not even know kids can have a double life. They could be in the house doing one thing, and you find out they doing something else. You don't know if your son is doing something unless you know. And we don't know if that's the case with this dad. We don't know if that, you understand? So now I don't know what I don't know what I would do if my son was unalived by anybody. It's my son. It's my daughter. That's why I said a father is not trained. A parent is not trained on how do you deal when your son or daughter's life is taken away from you. You're not trained on how to deal with that, but a cop is trained on how to deal with that. And cops, for some reason, you don't what?
My bad, OG. But you don't take a random person's life, OG. If anything, I would respect you more for taking the life of the cop. Do you know what mental? Do you know?
Right, but do you know what temporary insanity is?
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be honest with you, Cap. I feel like if, God forbid, if you ever end up in a situation like that, or anybody under your group, I don't think you would act like that. There's better ways to act and throw your life away.
No.
Because if you have more kids,
so now, see what you're doing is you're not answering the question. Do you know what? Do you know what temporary insanity is?
Temporary? No.
Okay, temporary insanity is when there's an emotional event or traumatic event that happens to you, and then you perform in an act that you wouldn't normally do. So as that brother is driving in the vehicle, I don't know why he did what he did, right? But let's say if that brother is driving in his vehicle, mourning the loss of his son at the hands of police, and then he just sees a cop and just loses his mind momentarily. That's what temporary insanity is. That can happen.
Right.
So it could be a crime. It could be a crime of passion. It's still a crime. Again, I'm not saying I don't want nobody to think I'm saying he's right in what he did. I'm not saying he's right. But I don't know what I would do if I lost my son. I don't know if my emotional state would be the same in losing an 18-year-old kid. I don't know what my state would be.
I'm pretty sure, Cap, like I said, my parents, they talk, it's enough instances, Cap, where we've seen black people run to where if you do get caught doing something illegal, 9 times out of 10, you probably shouldn't run. Or how about not do anything illegal at all? That's what I'm trying to say.
Brother, are you familiar with Philando Castile?
It sounds familiar, but
okay. So Philando Castile on camera is a passenger in a vehicle. The cop pulls them over. He's the passenger. When the cop pulls up to the passenger side, in the state of Minnesota, it says if you have a weapon, a legal weapon, you inform the police officer that you have a weapon. The police officer comes up to the side of the vehicle. Philando Castile says to the police officer, "Hey, I have a weapon on my possession. It's a legal firearm. I have the permit for it." As he goes to get the permit, he's not even reaching for a gun. The cops shoot and kills him in the car in front of his family. So when you say you ain't supposed to run, when you say it's better to not do this, when you say it's better to not do that, don't tell that to me. Tell that to the cops, because
that's one instance, it's not millions. That's one instance, though. That's very rare. You're getting me.
Hey, you pussy. Use an example of a pussy ass nigga that has no compassion on black people. You are an absolute example, because as I keep showing you the history,
you gave me one example.
As I keep showing him the history of black people's relationship with police, he's a stepping fetched ass nigga. This the type of nigga we can't have around us at all. He can't be around us. But it's an excellent show. I would like to stay on y'all more, but I think my pre-workout gonna damn near run out. So until next time.